She used to pack his lunch every morning the same way: peanut butter sandwich cut in half, a small apple, and a note that said, "I love you, be kind today." She never imagined that one morning would be the last time she would write those words. The sky was clear, the air soft with the sound of children's laughter, and then the world broke. The news came like thunder: a shooting at the local school, parents running, voices screaming, the kind of chaos that tears the earth open. She ran faster than she ever had in her life, her heart screaming his name over and over, and when she reached the school there were flashing lights and crying faces and names being called one by one, but his name never came. She waited through the longest night of her life until morning came without him, and everything after that became silence. Days turned into weeks, the house became too quiet, his room untouched, his shoes still by the door. She would sit there every night, holding his backpack, breathing in the scent that was fading. She thought forgiveness was impossible. She thought no mother could forgive the person who took her child, but grief has strange ways of breaking you and then showing you something beyond the breaking. One night, she found herself at the small memorial near the school, candles flickering in the wind, photos, letters, flowers, and she saw another woman standing there, trembling, the mother of the boy who did the shooting. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the world stopped. Both mothers broken, both carrying a weight too heavy for words. No one spoke first, but something inside her cracked open. She saw not a monster, but another mother drowning in pain, and she realized that hate would only build more darkness. She whispered, "I don't know how to forgive, but I want to try," and the other woman fell into her arms, crying. They stood there for a long time, too heart-shattered, but somehow still beating. The days after that were different, not easier, but different. She began writing letters, not to the boy who did it, but to her son, as if he could still hear her. She told him about the seasons changing, about the neighbors bringing flowers, about how she was learning to breathe again. She started visiting schools, talking to students about kindness, about how one small act of care can save a life. She said every child matters, every single one, even the ones who are lost. She became a voice for healing in a world that had forgotten how to heal. People asked her, "How can you forgive?" And she said, "Forgiveness is not saying it was okay. Forgiveness is saying I will not let the hate destroy what love created." She began working with other mothers who had lost their children, helping them find words when there were none, helping them stand when the ground had fallen away. Sometimes at night, she still cried into the silence. Sometimes she would wake and expect to hear his footsteps in the hallway, and sometimes she swore she felt him near, like a soft wind passing through the curtains. The day came when she visited the young man in prison. She had written for months before he finally agreed to see her. He looked small, scared, not the monster people imagined, just a broken boy who had made a terrible choice. When she walked in, he could not lift his eyes, and she said quietly, "I came because I need to tell you I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because my son would not want me to live in hate." He started to cry, and so did she, and for a moment the pain became light. Forgiveness did not erase what happened, but it set her free. Years later, she planted a garden near the school. She called it the Garden of Mercy. Every flower had a name, every color a memory. She said, "Life took my child, but it will not take my love." And every spring the garden blooms brighter. People come and sit and pray. And remember, she still visits every morning, lays one small white rose and whispers his name. She says, "Forgiveness is not the end, it is the beginning of peace, and peace is what my son would have wanted."